Welcome back. My name's Jen. I'm in Zone 7 and I love sharing my small garden with everyone. I like to grow a lot of things in a small space. So if that's for you, let's check out today's garden cleanup. I'm basically going to go through this garden here, which I call my side garden. I'm going to clean up all the things that are done from the spring and just anything that didn't work out well in the spring. I want to clear out some space to get any summer plants that I want put in. I'm also going to do the same thing with my arch, which was beside this garden, and you'll see that at the very end when it's finished. So after I remove all the panels to this garden so that I can access it easier, I'm going to speed it through the process of cleaning everything out. This took me a total of about a half an hour, but luckily you're only going to see about 40 seconds of it. The main things I was getting rid of was any weeds for starters. I also got rid of all the brassicas that weren't ready to be harvested. So I got rid of the broccoli because that one was done. I cleaned up most of the Brussels sprouts. I got rid of most of them. I saved 2. And then there was 1 cabbage I got rid of, but I kept the rest because they were almost ready to be harvested. Then here I was cleaning up the Brussels sprouts. For those, I like to grow them in a tiny space here, so I go around and cut off all the bottom leaves, and that helps encourages the little balls to form where the leaves meet the stem. Really, it's getting too hot for the Brussels sprouts anyways. These I should be doing in the fall, but I was trying to get a spring planting going. Then my phone fell in the grass, so that's where the recording stopped because it stayed like that for about a half an hour. So after I got everything out, I put some new stuff in. So let's take a look at what went in and what's left. This is divided up into 4 sections. So in this first section here, I have onions on the front corners. Back here, I have little pumpkins that should grow up. I put in some zinnias to fill in the space and a sunflower. Then I have garlic around the edges and some peppers in the middle. I also had 1 crisp head lettuce that I still wanted to keep, so I put that there, and I had a petunia that I put so that when the crisp head lettuce comes out, it'll fill in that spot, and I had some radishes. I also had a squash in that section I forgot to mention. So here I left all the peas, those are the shelling peas. I put in 1 sunflower and 1 hummingbird cypress vine. I put in some quinoa, another petunia to fill in the space, and then I left this front that had some lettuce and cabbage because all that still needs used up. I threw in a basil there and another sunflower and cypress vine on that side. In this section, I kind of left it alone. It had a lot of lettuce that I'm still trying to use, and then peppers that are just now starting to get big. If you see, I dig in here, there's a few peppers that are already growing. So that section I'm leaving. There's also a little bit of garlic around the outer edges. This section here, I have some snap peas, which I left. I have 2 Brussels sprouts that I kept in the back. Those are the ones I was trimming up. I had some peppers over here that were getting kind of shaded, so now they should get a lot of sun. And then I have 1 squash and an aster that hopefully will get more room once this cabbage is done. I got cabbage and celery there. I have a little basil here that's not doing that well because it's not getting much sun. And then here I put a black-eyed Susan vine that I hope will grow up that side there. Since I have a trellis in the back, I'm hoping the black-eyed Susan vine will go there, the hummingbird cypress vines will go there, and the little pumpkin will go up that side. Now here's the arch. I did the same thing with this. I came in and cleaned everything out that I didn't like anymore. Here I put a squash and 2 sunflowers. I've got some peppers going here. I put more of those cypress hummingbird vines right there, so that they could grow up in the front and have some flowers and be pretty. Here I have a musk melon. I have not actually grown these yet. They're kind of like a cantaloupe. I think they're a little more orangey, but even the roots of them smelled delicious. I also have some cucumbers back there, and I did put 1 watermelon back there. Then this whole section, I've got some turnips. They're getting big. I need to use those now. Behind them are some leeks. They're not quite as big as I want yet, so hopefully they'll just keep growing. Alright, on this side we have my shelling peas. I'm still getting a bunch of those, so I'm going to leave them. I did put some acorn squash there and some more of that cypress hummingbird vine. This little box I did all bush watermelons and then 1 basil. Then over here I have some lettuce that's still finishing up. There were some random beets that popped up in here. I put beets here like a year ago, but nothing really happened, and apparently now they're coming up. Then I put another watermelon, and I had some cantaloupe in the back. Here is some basil and some chamomile that looks kind of bad. And then on this side, we have some squash growing. It's funny, from filming this to editing, that squash is like twice the size. Then I had to come over here and turn on the water. I wanted an extra watering cycle than the ones that are already on. Sorry about the noise, my neighbor's building a deck. But thanks for watching my mid-June garden refresh.